It was a typical day. We usually got up in the morning, ate our breakfast, and would go over to the Parkview Y and walk the outside trail, just getting in our miles for the Race for Peace. We had walked maybe a quarter of a mile, and Tim said he kind of had a headache, but we continued to walk, and we probably walked halfway around the track at that point when Tim collapsed. I don't think I will ever forget the thud that I heard as his head hit.
The next thing I remember, I looked down the trail and I saw in a group of trees, it was like it was cut out. It was like a great big screen, and it was so yellow and so beautiful. And I thought to myself, in fact, I said, Lord, I said, are you here to take me home? And I said, Coach, if you are, I'm ready. I'm ready to go. And as soon as I said that in my mind, that was gone.
When something like that happens, you don't know how you're going to respond, and I actually was very, very calm. I turned Tim over, and I did a few chest compressions, and it was just instantly almost that this nurse came up, or this woman came up, and she said, I am a critical care nurse from Lutheran Hospital. And she took over. And I mean, she was so good. And then Jenny Johnson came up from church, and all of those things were just little encouragements to me, because, you know, in my garbled prayer, I thought, is this going to be his last moments right here?
And I remember I saw these men working on me. I saw this gurney, and they were putting someone on it, and I thought, gee whiz, someone must have really been hurt for them to come out here and have to do this. And I said, I wonder who it was. And next thing I know, I saw them wheeling me into the back of the ambulance, and I saw the lights up above me in the ambulance, and I thought, you know, I think it might be me that they're taking. And it was. So the question is whether I was afraid to die. I wasn't afraid to die. I knew that if he took me, my first thoughts were my family, how I would miss them, but I knew I was going to be reunited with them. I wasn't worried about that, so I had no fear of death.
I knew that he was ready, that he, you know, loved the Lord, and so I had a real peace about that. Knowing afterwards that all along the trail, people were in huddles praying. God was so good.
When I first opened my eyes, I saw Carol right behind me. I can remember going into the ambulance, and I can remember one of the paramedics saying, "You're lucky. You were lucky."
It was that one chamber of the heart was not working with the other one. It's arterioventricular block.
I can remember the doctor showing me this graph, and he showed me where my heart was beating. It was going up, but it's supposed to go down too. Well, it wasn't going down. And he says, Tim, this up here is where you almost died. And I have no idea. I don't know, it was from the CPR or what that made that heart start working right again. But he said, you were close to death. And you know, that's where the trust in the Lord comes when you're in that kind of condition. I was trusting God to do with me what He wanted to do with me.
There were just so many signs along the way that I knew God was there in our midst anyway, every day when we walked, but it was just such a source of strength.
I was fortunate that I could have my family around me. We were holding hands and praying, and thank God those prayers were for me, and they were answered.
Amanda reminded Tim, she said, you realize the things that you heard in our prayer time on Monday night are things that normally you don't hear because they're being said at your funeral.
We saw God so many times, and I can't tell you what the trust means. To have that trust in the Lord that, you know, whatever happens to you, that He's there.
When you have that
beside
trust, you have that peace that we could have during that whole time.
I know that I've been saved by grace. God knows I'm a sinner. I'm a repentant sinner, and I have to find myself every week repenting to the Lord. And He has given me that peace that passes that understanding. If that comes your way, like I thought it was coming my way, you need to know the Lord. I am so grateful to God for sparing me. You know, I would have loved to have gone with Him, especially after I saw how beautiful that was. But yet I knew that He had a mission for me, and I'm willing to do whatever He wants me to do.